You see, sometimes in life, a woman has to stand alone. It's not because she wants to, but because the people around her don't match the quality of her soul. When you walk through this world, you'll find that many people surround themselves with others just to fill the silence, to chase away the loneliness. But a woman who chooses to walk alone, that's a woman who understands her power. There's a certain strength in walking alone, especially for a woman. Independence and self-sufficiency are qualities that don't just happen overnight. They're forged through experience, trial, and often solitude. A woman who stands on her own 2 feet without relying on a network of friends to validate her isn't just surviving, she's thriving in her own right. She understands that her strength doesn't come from the people around her, but from within herself. In a world that often glorifies companionship and social connections, it can be easy to forget the power of independence. Society may try to convince you that you need a tribe, a support system, or a crew to get through life. But here's the thing, not everyone is built to walk with the crowd. A woman who chooses independence has learned to rely on herself because she knows that, at the end of the day, she's the only one who truly has her back. This kind of self-sufficiency isn't about rejecting relationships or pushing people away. It's about understanding that while relationships can be valuable, they don't define her. She doesn't need friends to feel validated, important, or worthy. Her worth is something she defines for herself, something she carries with her every day. When she faces challenges, she doesn't run to others for answers. She looks within, trusting her instincts, her knowledge, and her experiences. This internal strength is what sets her apart from those who feel lost without the opinions and support of others. When a woman is self-sufficient, she becomes unshakable. She doesn't fall apart when people leave her life, and she doesn't crumble when she's faced with adversity. Instead, she taps into a reservoir of inner strength, that deep well of resilience she's built over time. She's learned that the only person she can truly count on is herself, and that's more than enough. This isn't just about emotional resilience, it's about being able to navigate life without needing constant affirmation or approval from others. She makes her own decisions and takes responsibility for them, knowing that her life is hers to shape. Independence also means having the courage to stand alone in her beliefs, her values, and her vision for life. It's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing, to follow the trends and go along with the crowd. But a self-sufficient woman isn't interested in doing what's easy. She's interested in doing what's right for her. This kind of independence requires a level of self-awareness and confidence that many people never develop because they're too focused on pleasing others. But a woman who stands alone has learned to tune out the noise of society's expectations. She listens to her own voice, her own needs, and makes decisions that align with her true self. This independence isn't just a survival skill, it's a form of empowerment. A woman with this kind of inner strength knows that she can rely on herself in any situation. She doesn't need to depend on others to solve her problems or guide her through life. Instead, she becomes her own guide, charting her own path and carving out her own space in the world. This kind of self-sufficiency is rare, and it's what allows her to thrive, even when she's walking alone. One of the most important aspects of independence is self-reliance, not just in terms of making decisions, but in every area of life. A self-sufficient woman learns how to take care of herself mentally, emotionally, and physically. She's not waiting for someone to come along and rescue her or fix her problems. She takes responsibility for her own happiness, her own health, and her own future. This is what makes her so powerful. She's not at the mercy of anyone else. This doesn't mean that she never needs help or that she's closed off to others, but when she does seek support, it's on her terms. She's not dependent on others for her survival or her sense of self. She's built a life that she can sustain on her own, and that's a rare and powerful thing. This independence, though, isn't something that isolates her. It actually strengthens the relationships she chooses to have. When a woman is self-sufficient, she doesn't enter relationships out of need or desperation. She chooses to have people in her life because she values them, not because she needs them to complete her. This creates a sense of balance and respect in her relationships that many people never experience. Independence is a form of freedom. It frees her from the constraints of others' opinions, expectations, and judgments. It allows her to walk her own path, guided by her own inner compass. A woman who is truly self-sufficient isn't afraid to walk alone because she knows that wherever she goes, she's enough. She has everything she needs within herself to not only survive, but to thrive. In life, we often find ourselves caught up in the idea that the more people we surround ourselves with, the better off we'll be. But a woman who chooses to walk without a large circle of friends understands something deeper. She knows that the value of relationships isn't measured by quantity, but by quality. It's not about how many people you have around you, it's about the depth, the meaning, and the authenticity of the connections you choose to maintain. A lot of people chase popularity, they chase after large social circles because they believe it gives them a sense of worth. The more friends, the more social gatherings, the more validation they receive, the better they feel about themselves. But this kind of thinking only leads to shallow, fleeting connections. They fill the space temporarily, but they don't provide the deep nourishment that true friendship offers. A woman who understands the importance of quality over quantity is different. She's learned that not everyone deserves access to her time, her energy, or her life. Friendship is not about being surrounded by a crowd of people who barely know you. It's about having those few individuals who understand you on a deep level, who support you when times get hard, and who challenge you to be better. A woman who values quality over quantity in her relationship seeks depth. She's not interested in small talk or surface level interactions. She craves real, meaningful conversations. She looks for people who see her for who she truly is, not just for what she can offer them in a moment. This approach to relationships takes a different kind of strength. It's easy to fill your life with acquaintances, to have people around just to avoid feeling alone. But it takes wisdom to realize that true connection is rare and is something that can't be forced or rushed. A woman who values quality understands that it's better to have 1 or 2 real friends than 100 superficial ones. She's not interested in the appearance of connection, she's interested in the substance of it. Choosing quality over quantity also means knowing when to let go. There are times when people will drift into your life and just as quickly drift out. And that's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay, and not every friendship is built to last forever. A woman who values quality understands this. She doesn't cling to relationships that no longer serve her, and she doesn't hold on to people out of fear of being alone. She's confident enough in herself to release what no longer aligns with her path, even if that means having fewer people in her life. It's not always easy to walk away from relationships, especially when there's a history or when you've invested time and energy, but holding on to connections that are draining, toxic, or unfulfilling only holds you back. A woman who understands the importance of quality knows that it's better to walk alone than to walk with people who don't truly care about her. She recognizes that protecting her peace and her energy is far more important than maintaining the illusion of friendship. This mindset also shapes the way she approaches new relationships. She's not in a rush to make friends, to fill her life with people for the sake of appearances. She's patient. She takes her time to get to know people, to understand their intentions, and to see if they align with her values. She's not looking for perfection, but she's looking for authenticity. If a relationship feels forced or unbalanced, she's not afraid to step back. She knows that true connection can't be fake, and she's willing to wait for the right people to come into her life. By valuing quality over quantity, a woman frees herself from the pressure to conform to societal expectations. Society often measures success by how many friends you have, how often you're invited to social events, and how connected you appear to be. But a woman who prioritizes quality knows that this kind of validation is empty. She's not concerned with keeping up appearances. She's focused on building genuine relationships that add real value to her life. In the quiet moments when she's alone with her thoughts, she doesn't feel lonely. When a woman finds herself without friends, she has an opportunity that many overlook, the chance to truly understand herself on a deeper level. It's not that. Friendships don't offer insight or growth, but solitude presents a rare, uninterrupted space where a woman can focus solely on her own development, free from the distractions and influences of others. In this space, self-reflection becomes a tool that sharpens her awareness, her strengths, and her ability to thrive independently. In a world filled with noise and constant social interaction, it's easy to lose touch with who you truly are. So many people define themselves by the roles they play in their relationships, friend, daughter, partner, but when those relationships are absent, what's left? This is where the magic of solitude lies. Without the external expectations or obligations to fulfill these roles, a woman is left with. Living with purpose also means that she becomes more focused on her long-term goals, rather than getting caught up in the day-to-day distractions that often pull people off course. She's able to see the bigger picture and make decisions that align with her vision for the future. This sense of direction gives her a deep sense of fulfillment because she knows that everything she's doing is contributing to her personal growth and well-being. When a woman walks alone, she discovers that prioritizing her growth and well-being is not a selfish act, but a necessary one. It's through this process of self-discovery, self-care, and self-respect that she becomes the best version of herself. She learns that taking care of her own needs doesn't mean neglecting others, but rather that it allows her to show up more fully in her relationships and her life. By prioritizing her own well-being, she becomes stronger, more resilient, and more capable of achieving her goals and living a life that is true to her. In the end, walking alone as a woman is not a sign of isolation or weakness, but a powerful journey towards self-discovery, emotional resilience, and independence. It is through solitude that she gains clarity, strength, and an unshakable sense of self-worth. She learns to trust her instincts, prioritize her growth, and nurture her well-being without relying on external validation. This path equips her with the tools to navigate life's challenges with grace, set healthy boundaries, and live with purpose. Ultimately, she emerges not as someone who lacks companionship, but as someone who is fulfilled and whole within herself, capable of facing the world with strength, dignity, and confidence.
That was deep.